What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a chat about a new Marvel game. Now, if you've been following me on this channel and you're watching this channel, so hopefully, well, I don't know, I mean, on the one hand, hopefully it's not your first video, you've been here for a while and life is good, but then again, if it is your first video, welcome. I hope you have a wonderful time. But one of the main games we cover on this channel, one of the big ones, probably the second biggest game on the channel right now, is Marvel Champions. I'm a big fan of Marvel Champions, and frankly, you should be too. That game is absolutely stunning. I'm a little bit in love. But we've covered some other Marvel games here and there on the channel, like Marvel Battleworld, for instance. And there wasn't a huge amount to cover with that as it went, but we did a couple videos on it, and they went down rather well, and people seemed kind of into Marvel Battleworld, which was kind of awesome. And, I mean, we even did a bit of a chat about X-Men, I want to say Insurrection, that lovely dice game that was announced at Gen Con, which looked like an awful lot of fun. Mutant Insurrection, there we go. So, we seem to be at the stage where we like talking about Marvel games. There is a new Marvel game to talk about, except it's not really a new Marvel game per se. It is an old game, which is getting a healthy injection of Marvel. It is Unmatched, and there are 4 Marvel sets which are coming out. Need to give a massive shout out here to the lovely folks over at /film.com who did, I think they broke the news. It's certainly the place where I got the news. Shout out to those lovely people for, well, sharing the love, basically. Now, we only have the box art for 2 of the 4, which is a little bit sad, but hey-ho, we're getting Unmatched Redemption Row and Unmatched Hell's Kitchen, and depending on your level of Marvel knowledge will depend on how much that means to you. We're going to get around to all this in a moment, and we're going to talk about the heroes and all of that, because there are 4 sets coming, not 2, but we've only seen art for 2 of them. But we also need to talk about what Unmatched actually is. And to put it simply, Unmatched is a game that I should feel, frankly, personally embarrassed that I am not playing on a regular basis, because it looks absolutely wonderful. Now, a lot of the images I'm using of the game here did come from Board Game Geek, which, if you are a Board Game Geek like I am, assuming it's a website you use on a fairly regular basis. And essentially, what we've got here is a series of games that you play using models and a deck of cards, and it's very much a combat game. Now, the way it is described by the publisher is tactical movement and no luck combat. So essentially, it is all about skill, and it is about fighting, and it is a multiplayer game. Now, the set which I need to basically run out and buy immediately, if not sooner, is the Jurassic Park expansion. Now, Jurassic Park is subtitled InGen vs. Raptors, and you get Robert Muldoon, that's right, and 3 raptors, which sounds amazing. And presumably, now I believe that is asymmetrical, that is to say, Robert Muldoon against the Raptors against Robert Muldoon. I could be wrong about that, but then again, it does refer to it as a highly asymmetrical miniature fighting game, so hey-ho. In fact, while we're here, we might as well read the full description. Unmatched is a highly asymmetrical miniature fighting game for 2 or 4 players. Each hero is represented by a unique deck designed to evoke their style and legend. Tactical movement and no-luck combat resolution create a unique play experience that rewards expertise. But just when you've mastered one set, new heroes arrive to provide all new matchups. And this is the thing about the game that makes me embarrassed that I've not checked it out yet, because there are others. Now, the other big licensed one, and stop me in the comment section if I'm missing one here, but the other big licensed one seems to be the Buffy the Vampire Slayer expansion, featuring Buffy, Spike, Angel, and Willow, which is, of course, you know, they are the 4 main ones. And for what it's worth, they've all got 4 different colour bottoms here, bases. So, I don't know, maybe it's a 1 per person. I'm not entirely sure. The point is that you can combine this so you can have, like, Buffy against the Raptors. Buffy the Vampire Slayer against the Jurassic Park Raptors, or Robert Muldoon hunting down Willow. Because why not, ladies and gentlemen? Why not? Now, the first set they actually released, I believe it was the first set, was Battle of Legends. And this is a weird one. Now, here they basically went for kind of, well, legend. I mean, the clue is very much in the name. But you've got King Arthur, the old English king with a sword. Alice, who's come back from Wonderland, back through the looking glass. Medusa, the, I want to say, Greek mythical villain with the snakes for hair, and you can't look at her or you'll turn to stone. Probably getting something wrong there, my apologies. And Sinbad the Sailor. Which is so weird, ladies and gentlemen. So weird. Now, to be honest with you, this did actually come on my radar a little while ago. And the reason it came on my radar was because I saw a set which was Robin Hood versus Bigfoot. Now, for those of you that don't know, I went to university in Nottingham, which is right on the edge of Sherwood Forest, and basically Nottingham is where the whole Robin Hood thing happened. So I very much, I lived in Nottingham for many years. I have very much of an affinity towards Robin Hood, and these all combine. Robin Hood versus Spike, the raptors being taken down by Sinbad. Why not? And that just sounds absolutely wonderful. So that's your kind of primer on Unmatched and what it is and why it's so cool. Let's go back specifically to Marvel here and see what we're getting. Now, Redemption Row, what we basically got here is a bunch of vigilantes, very much anti-heroes. We've got Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Luke Cage, which is a little bit weird. One thing I do find very interesting here is these are apparently the very first sets that we've actually seen with 3 characters in. Up till now, they've been 2 or 4, with the exception of the Bruce Lee set, which was just a standalone with 1 character in. Shockingly enough, it was Bruce Lee. But here you're getting 3. Over in Hell's Kitchen, I mean, Hell's Kitchen is very much a little part of New York, which is very important in the Marvel world. And we've got Daredevil along with Bullseye and Elektra. So you got Daredevil very much the hero, Bullseye very much the villain, and Elektra who kind of flicks between them as she feels like it, basically. So they're the ones we've had confirmed that we've seen the box art for, and it's very clear which heroes, which characters are actually getting here. I shouldn't say heroes. Bullseye ain't one of them, they're heroes. Now, the good news is we have got another 2 which have been confirmed as well. Teen Spirit is very much featuring, well, this one might shock you, teen characters like Miss Marvel, who incidentally is one of the few characters here that has actually already made their way into Marvel Champions and is going to be here, along with Cloak and Dagger, who's 1 character, but we all know they're kind of 2 characters, and Squirrel Girl. Now, I know there are a bunch of people out there that really want Squirrel Girl to go and make an appearance in Marvel Champions. I am one of them for what it's worth. Hasn't happened yet, but let's just say it would be cool. And if you want your fix, well, good news, ladies and gentlemen. Good news. And then we've got For King and Country, which is very much your patriotic characters who have been really fighting for their country. We've got Black Widow. And to be fair, this is the set that really does have a lot of overlap with Marvel Champions and what we've seen so far. I should mention, by the way, Squirrel Girl has been in Marvel Champions, but as an ally, not as a character in and of herself, so that makes a big difference. And then we've got, let's say, Black Widow, who very much has been, well, former Russian spy. Black Panther, obviously the King of Wakanda. And Winter Soldier, who brainwashed spy assassin person. And Black Panther is worth pointing out. We have seen that, Black Panther was in the core set, was one of the main characters that first came around. So there's a tiny bit of overlap. You're basically talking 3 out of 12 in terms of characters that have really had their own deck built around them in Marvel Champions. and in Unmatched, although presumably as time goes by, Marvel Champions will catch up a little bit. I am psyched. Like, I love board games, and I love Marvel, and I especially like it when there's a deck of cards involved. So this was always going to be an easy sell for me, but I'm also a sneaky big Jurassic Park fan. You can't see me because I don't use face cam on videos when I don't really need to, and that's one of them. But I'm literally sitting here rocking a Jurassic Park / World shirt as we speak. And you know what? How could I not? Now, Buffy, I can probably take it or leave it, but getting all 3 of these Marvel sets and the Jurassic Park set, doing some weird mashup games, that sounds genuinely wonderful, and I am genuinely excited. But I'd like to know how wonderful it sounds to you, and I'd like to know how excited you are. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about all kinds of tabletop games. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.